Hi there, everybody. It's meteorologist Terry Swails, and I'm all lit up like a Christmas tree today. And it's not even 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and all kinds of things going on in the weather world today. And that includes a major winter storm that will be impacting the Midwest. So we'll be discussing that. Also, a lot of you have heard about the freezing rain advisory that's in effect for parts of Iowa and northwestern Illinois. I'm going to touch on that. But of course, the big weather story will be the major storm later on this weekend that should dump some heavy snow and throw in some good time winds as well. So you snow plowers, you'll be busy around the area, and for those of you that have your shovels, you'll be using those as well. Meantime, let's talk a little bit about this advisory here. This is not going to be a major deal, but anytime you have any ice at all, of course, that is a concern. And we've got a front that's moving southeast across the area, and that's just doing it very slowly, and most of the forcing is post-frontal, and it's going to squeeze out a little bit of moisture and create some drizzle and maybe some areas of light rain. Not looking for much in terms of precipitation totals, but a small glaze will be a possibility out there as the temperatures slip below freezing, especially later on tonight. Don't see much happening here until we get to the late night hours. But something to keep in mind if you're out and about on the roads here in the next 24 hours. Again, this should be a minor event. Just use your common sense out there and take a little extra time. You'll be a-okay. Now, this is the GFS surface depiction of our storm on Sunday morning. So we're switching gears here and going into the winter storm. And you can see the low pressure there as it passes through northeastern Indiana. That's a good track for eastern Iowa, northwestern Illinois, and southeastern Wisconsin for some heavy snows. And it's certainly showing that there, snowing pretty good and blowing pretty good as the hour there of, say, 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. So with these storms, we got lots of models that we look at, and you have to decide which storm bandwagon you're going to get on. But right now, one of the things that I'm seeing is some pretty good consistency on where the heavy snows are expected to lay out. Things can still change a little bit here, but at least we're getting the models in line here, and that's about what you'd expect when you're getting down there 48 hours from the main event. So here you can see now, this is the European snowfall forecast. This just came down early this afternoon off the 12Z run. Yesterday this was a lot further to the west. Today it has made some corrections and shifted that off to the east, and the axis of heaviest snows goes right through the Quad Cities. You can see it there running from northwestern Missouri through the Quad Cities and then up towards Milwaukee, maybe between there and Chicago. So some pretty good snows in that band. I'm seeing some amounts there that look like they're approaching 11, 12 inches in a few spots. But before I get to those, I did want to show you what the GFS is doing, and you can see it's got its heavy band of snow too, extending through southeastern Iowa and northwestern Illinois and back into Missouri too. So it's got amounts that are probably more in the range of around 6 to 8, where the European is a little bit higher than that on its numbers. So let me get in on Iowa. And there's the Quad Cities. And you can see the European there indicating amounts around 9 to 10 inches in the Quad Cities, but a little bit further to the northeast, they're up around Rockford, showing over 11 inches. So a pretty nice band of snow there, extending through the eastern one half of Iowa, southeast one half of Iowa, through northwestern Illinois, and then right on into Wisconsin. And so now Chicago, I know there's a lot of people over that way who are pretty interested in this event as well. And while you were out of it for a while there, it does look like the shift here has put you back in it at least a little bit. The northern and western suburbs now looking at the potential for over 6 inches of accumulation. You don't have to go far north and west of there to get into it a whole lot more. So you guys plowing some snow out in the metro Chicago area over towards Rockford up in Milwaukee. And you'll be doing some shoveling out with your big old plows out there as we get to the next 48 hours or so. Keep that in mind. And you know, this is always great news for Santa. He likes snow and is very comfortable with it, so it shouldn't cause him any problems, although if you're out on the roads, that will be an issue here later on in the weekend. You'll want to take it slow because this does have slow. It has the ability to certainly disrupt the travel around the area, and I do expect winter storm watches to be issued from many of the local weather service offices as we go through the next 24 hours. And of course there's Rudolph. Rudolph just, he doesn't get it. That's snow. I live in snow. He's used to that, so what's the big deal? Well, I'll tell you, we don't get too many big snows around here, so if this happens in the Quad Cities, I'm going to be one very happy camper. So right now I got my fingers crossed, that's for sure. I like my white Christmases, And that is your weather briefing for this afternoon. Take care, everybody, and as always, roll weather and let's hope for some white gold.